Good night, everybody.
Wait. For those of you that don't,
my button game is strong, dude. Non-apologetic news. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Non-Apologetic News. This week, we're taking a break from the news for a news-related game. This game is called Out of Luck Bankrupt, and you are gonna be today's contestant. So, anybody who's opened up so much as their cell phone in the past week has saw that someone's won $1.25 billion in the lotto, right?
yeah.
Insane. I hope it was a poor person. I'm just going to say that right now.
Right.
So, as it turns out, 70% of all lotto winners who win over $1 million lose every penny. 70%. 30% of those lose everything and go into bankruptcy. So that brought us to a game. The game is called Out of Luck Bankrupt. So we're going to show you 3 lottery winners, okay?
All right.
I'm going to be quiet, audience. I'm going to tell you where the person was at in life as far as their age, their occupation, when they won, how much they won, and then I'm going to tell you the first purchase they made, okay? All right. You have to guess how long till they were out of luck and bankrupt. And you have 3 guess choices. You can say 0 to 5 years, so it could have been 30 days, 0 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, and 11 to 15 years. So to start us out, I'm going to pop up on the screen a picture of a woman. This woman's name is Sharon Travisty. When she won the lotto, she was 35 years young. Looks 50. When she won, she was catching the bus back and forth from work. She couldn't afford a car. She said she was currently saving up for one at this time. She was living alone in a small apartment with her 3 children, all of which with a different baby daddy. Okay? When she was on her way to work, riding on the bus, she did stop and she bought a Lotto Super 7 ticket and won $10.5 million. Okay? The first thing she bought was a souped-up $220,000 Escalade with the novelty license plate Baby Fat. Okay? That and if you're wondering, that is BABIPHAT, Baby Fat. So now you have to make a choice here. Did she go out of luck and bankrupt in 0 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, or 11 to 15 years?
Let's say 0 to 5.
0 to 5 years. Now that's your final answer.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell you right now.
Thomas, he's a cheeky one.
That is a correct answer, and allow me to explain how. So immediately after she won, she took like everyone in her inner circle to trips all around the world. Cancun, Florida, Vegas, Caribbean. She bought a house with Vinny, one of those 3 baby daddies, and then they had 3 more children inside of that house. Now that house, and here's the kicker, that house was $515,000, right? Yeah. She won $10.5 million, but she still took out a mortgage on the house for $360,000. So while she still had over $10 million, she was making payments to the bank instead of paying off the house that was $500,000. This is going to come into play in a little bit. She immediately bought 4 vehicles, a Hummer, Mustang Challenger, the souped-up Escalade we talked about. What did the license plate say?
Baby Fat.
Baby Fat. Now, in this Escalade, she had turntables and an entire DJ system, and she lived now in a wealthy neighborhood, okay? So she was interviewed in 2007, which this would be, 3 years into her winning the money. They also interviewed her neighbors. Neighbors hate her, and they ask her, hey, why don't your neighbors like you? She goes, well, they just don't like young people. I think they just don't like assholes, So in 2007, during this interview, she said her money was half gone. She had pissed away over $5 million, but she says as she checks her bank account, it has so many zeros, she doesn't understand the numbers, so it's okay to keep spending, right? 1 year after this interview, she lost that house through that mortgage to the bank. When she could have paid it off, at least had this for her children. 1 year later, she was penniless, taking the same bus back and forth to the same job, living in an apartment a block away from where she started.
That's fucking crazy.
So that is 5 years.
Thomas, he's a cheeky one.
So you did get that. She did do one good thing, and I did forget to mention this, so I do want to crowbar this in here. She gave her parents $1 million, and I think that's awesome, as much as we're making a joke out of it. But I have my suspicions that she asked for that back You know what I mean? I didn't pissed away $9.5 million. Where can I get that? And let's evaluate this picture. I thought this picture might give you some sort of clues because we all know someone who lives in a house that looks like this. I mean, you could just tell the woman has nothing. You know, she looks like a heroin addict, if we're just being honest, with the way her face looks, the way her skin is all droop-a-loop. And, like, I don't know why this curtain bothers me, but why the fuck is that there? It's not blocking the sun. It's not, if you stand in front of it, people can see you. Like, what is the point of that? Put a blanket over it. You know what I mean? That is doing nothing. And
Well, it matches the couch.
Yeah, but that's just because she put a sheet over the couch. Oh, I wonder if that's a sheet. No, that's a curtain. Who cares? On to the next one. Next up, we have a real piece of work. His name is Michael Carroll. Here is his photo right here. So, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. But when he won, he was 19 years old. This is back in 2002. He was working as a garbage collector, and the ticket cost $2. He didn't have $2. He had to count up his pennies, dimes, and nickels and was like, screw it, I'm going to buy it. Well, that ticket was great because it netted him $13.8 million. Immediately after winning the money, he bought a $500,000 mansion and then spent $400,000 immediately to change it to the way he liked it. Before naming the mansion The Grange.
The Grange?
The Grange.
Grange.
That's how I picture it's pronounced. I only read The Grange.
Grange.
Do not call. Now, how long till he was out of luck and bankrupt? 0 to 5?
0 to 5.
6 to 10? 11 to 15. You're going with 0 to 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Thomas, are you stupid?
That is not correct.
That's surprising.
So, he also gave $1 million to his mother right off the bat. So, kudos to you as long as you didn't ask for it back. The second thing he bought was enough cocaine that through the entire duration of his wealth, every morning he could do 3 lines and a shot of vodka before leaving his bed.
Good for him.
Right, a man knows what he likes. A year after winning, he was married, okay? A year after married, he was divorced because his wife said he couldn't stop paying for sex workers. So he just threw lavish party after lavish party in the garage, and it netted him 30 cases in the first 3 years. So he just did not care. He found himself in debt to the mob, he did. And he's like, I'm not paying you. You know, I'm top dog, you know. So the mob killed his dog.
Oh, shit.
So he then forked over $300K to the mob to make sure they'd go away. So by 2012, he was not only broke, he was homeless, he had nothing. He is now a cold delivery man, broke as hell, working 6 days a week. He still buys lottery tickets because he says he was lucky enough to be a winner once. He can damn sure do it again. However, good news, he did remarry the same wretched woman that he married before right here. So maybe love does exist and maybe this is a happy ending. Now, let's look at the difference between these two pictures. This was when he had $10.5 million and this is when he has nothing. Don't you think like he'd be fat in the other picture?
Right.
Like you ain't even got money, you know, that hat is 4 times too small for your face and he's missing every other tooth. And she's definitely having sex with every one of his friends. Freaking psychopath. On to the next. We have a gentleman by the name of Lee Ryan. Lee Ryan is from another country, of which I forgot to write down. So, in 1995, he was a used car trader awaiting trial for stealing cars. 24-year-old man. He won $7.9 million. So he won the least out of our 3 people here. After winning, the first thing he bought was a $300,000 Jet Ranger helicopter. He was interviewed about it. He said, I'm not hiring a pilot. I don't know how to fly, but I'm going to figure her out. How long? Until he was out of luck and bankrupt. You know your 3 choices. You must make one here. 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15.
I'll say 6 to 10. If he didn't kill himself in that copter first.
Okay, I will tell you, he is still alive today.
Okay.
Does that influence your decision at all? To the best of my knowledge, he's still alive.
I'll stick with 6 to 10.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Thomas, are you stupid?
It was 15 years. Reason I included him was he had the least amount of money that he was able to stretch through the longest. It's still damn embarrassing, the situation I'm about to tell you about. So, after winning, he immediately served 18 months for car theft. So that money was just waiting on him. Maybe that's why it lasted so long. So when he got out, he bought 4 vehicles: a Bentley, a Ferrari, a Porsche, and a BMW, and they each had a vanity license plate. Lee 1, Lee 2, Lee 3. What was the last one?
Lee 4.
Yeah. So it made me think, I wonder if he drives like Lee 3 and Lee 4 the most, so like the ladies automatically know that like there's 2 more where this came from. So he also, pretty close to when he got out, he bought a $1.2 million mansion, a $100,000 plane, plus that helicopter. He did get many citations for driving the helicopter too close to people's houses, like too low, trimming trees. And yeah, so he knew absolutely nothing what he was doing. He bought 2 Bugatti superbikes. He lost $2 million to a failed business. He tried to start a fish farm. But I don't know. No details other than that. That seems kind of shady to me. It seems like something illegal happened. He's just like, nah, IRS, I lost that. Fish farm. By 2010, he was left with nothing but a sleeping bag. He is pictured here. 2 thumbs up for the loser that he is. He spent the next 2 years having nothing, bumming, says he's never been happier in his life. He now works as a cameraman making less than $8,000 a year. Claims that if he could redo it all, he would do it the exact same way. So, I would like to thank everyone for checking that out. I'd also like to issue a little bit of advice. If someone comes into any money, and I mean, we're not, no one listening to this, and we're not going to come into $10 million or anything, unless y'all actually start subscribing and stuff, then maybe we could. But if you ever come into any money, an inheritance, 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever, pay off whatever you owe money on. Then put money into an account that you cannot access, whether that be like a 401k that has a penalty, anything. Don't give that money away. Everyone's got a scheme, and they're all full of garbage. So, save your money. I wish each and every one of you the best of luck on your next scratch-off ticket. Good night, everybody.
Wait! For those of you that don't...
My button game is strong, dude.
For those of you who don't know, September 30th, The End So Far, brand new album by Slipknot.
All right. Hopefully we got paid for that. And one more reminder, always.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Good night, everybody.